The Danish public college Ørestad Gymnasium was inaugurated in 2007. The 1,180 students here are aged between 15 and 20. Now the architect Herforth Nielsen revisits the school and joins Principal Allan Kjær Andersen for a tour of the building and for a discussion of the ideas behind the architecture and the education offered here.
Ørestad Gymnasium nok den mest radikale bygning, om ikke i Danmark, måske endda hele verden.
Ørestad Gymnasium is the most unique school in Denmark and perhaps in the whole world. It distinguishes itself by being without traditional classrooms. Instead, the inside is similar to an urban landscape with many opportunities for learning and for interaction, Herforth Nielsen explains.
Vi har fra starten lagt vægt på, at det her skulle være et sted, hvor eleven lærer ved at gøre noget.
Principal Allan Kjær Andersen says that from the very beginning, the school was planned to be a sort of modern business, where students produce knowledge together with other students and with their teachers. The staircase acts as a catalyst for social life and is about much more than getting from A to B, the architect explains.
Det også en måde at overskue tingene på, når man går op igennem bygningen.
The staircase in this college is like a catwalk, where students can check each other out and find their friends. An add-on is that the students get good exercise when moving up and down maybe 5 times a day, Herforth Nielsen says.
Trappen det her samlingspunkt, den tænkt som.
The staircase acts as the meeting place it's meant to be. It's the focal point of the house and a symbol for the school, the principal adds.
Fra trappen man ligesom har et fokuspunkt.
At least a third of the lessons here take place in the open spaces on 4 floor decks. In these open spaces, classrooms are replaced by so-called group areas, which are often constituted by a space between 2 large bookcases or in a corner of the building. There are also more ordinary classrooms in the school, and during the average day, the students will have lessons in different kinds of teaching environments. The diversity of spaces is essential for the school to work. If the open space had just been one open space, no one would have been able to focus and find peace. Therefore, we have allowed ourselves to be inspired by a mountain village with small streets and squares, where you can always find an intimate place to be, the architect explains.
Men det der pointen hos os, det at det hele vores klasseværelse.
Allan Kjær Andersen says that the whole school is like one large flexible classroom. The sum of the differences in the teaching environments defines teaching at Ørestad Gymnasium. It is essential that when planning lessons, the teachers must take into consideration that a substantial part of the lessons are carried out in an open space.
Og når vi gør det, så fungerer huset glimrende. Så vi heller ikke støjproblemer, så der kun den.
As long as we plan our teaching according to this, the house works excellently, and we have no noise problems, simply the sounds of a house where people are working, Allan Kjær Andersen says. When starting the school, he worried that the students would have to adapt to working in such a different environment, but it turned out that they adjusted very quickly.
Huset i sig selv gør noget ved.
The house itself does something to both students and teachers, making you understand quite quickly how to behave here, he says. 3 round areas of the school are dedicated to breaks and free time in between lessons. These areas the students call the fat boy areas.
Tankerne var oprindeligt at lave et pausemiljø, altså breakout area, hvor eleverne.
The idea was to create break environments or breakout areas where you can hang out under more relaxed conditions, Herforth Nielsen explains.
Det fungerer som elevernes egen verden.
This is the student's own world. Even though you're visible, you still feel secluded. The students also use this as a working area, the principal says. And he explains that in the afternoons, a lot of students come here after lessons and prepare their homework.
Jeg tror sagtens, det kan lade sig gøre at lave sådan en skole som den her i andre lande.
Herforth Nielsen says that he believes other countries could build and run a school similar to this one. But it's a question of political will, as it requires that you're ready to challenge some traditions and that you dare experiment, he says. If he were to build the school all over again, he would mostly do the same, although he might change some of the materials used in the building, such as the wood for the staircase, and he would ensure students greater opportunities for artistic expressions. The principal agrees.
Hvis vi skulle starte forfra med Ørestad Gymnasium, så ville jeg i udgangspunktet gøre nøjagtigt.
If I had to start all over again, I would do exactly the same. What is unique here is that we have a building that fits the pedagogy we're aiming for, and which also forces us to work differently, he says.